5 with me, Kritsween Walia. We're coming live from Federal Bank and CNN News 18 Prime Time studio. This is the newsroom, and we will be talking about a very important political controversy that's playing out in full swing. This is an exchange which is taking place between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress, with the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi hitting out at the central government over the lateral entry controversy. He in fact says this is a big setback for the Dalits, for the OBCs, SC, ST communities in the country. And the BJP hit back on the introduction back in the day. We first up listening to some of the top reactions coming in and being joined by a very important voice following this.
हमने बड़ा स्पष्ट तौर पे पहले भी इस पर अपना विरोध दर्ज किया था कि जो संविधान सम्मत आरक्षण है सरकारी नौकरियों में, यूपीएससी आप देते हैं तो पूरा एक आरक्षण की एक सुविधाएं हैं एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी सबके लिए, तो वो सुविधाएं आप नकार के लैटरल एंट्री या डायरेक्ट एंट्री कर रहे हैं। पिछले दरवाजे से आप एक तरह से संविधान कर रहे हैं। राहुल गांधी लगातार कहते हैं कि 90 सचिवों में से सिर्फ 3 ओबीसी हैं या रिजर्व कैटेगरी के हैं, तो उनकी बात सही थी। और जो हम लगातार संविधान बदलना शुरू कर दिया है इन्होंने।
Going across to Mr. Veerappa Moily, former Chief Minister of Karnataka, joining us live. We will talk about a little bit of context to this entire controversy, Mr. Moily. But first up, I want to understand from you your first reaction. We've seen the BJP now hit back at the Congress, and the BJP says this is a UPA era concept. How is it that Rahul Gandhi today is in a position to attack the BJP over the same?
Just straightforward thing. After the second administration of personnel administration, we have dealt with this question of lateral entry at page 208 and 209 of the said report. We have clearly stated that you go on recruiting it at your whims and fancies. There are methods adopted. Interaction should be carried out at the present level of Additional Secretary HAG, which is a leadership position from which one can aspire to reach the rank of Secretary to government. Issues such as requirement of greater functional, technical knowledge at operational level, and difficulties managing of large scale. But we said, it has to be the creation of the Central Civil Services Authority to be created under the proposed new services law. I don't think there is any new services law. It has to be enacted. And we strictly said that a Central Civil Services Authority to be entrusted with the task of identifying outside talent would be desirable. Such posts would then be opened for recruitment by tapping talent both from within and outside. To be recruited by tapping talent both from within and outside the government through a transparent process to be implemented by the authority. You mark the word transparent. And this would be sent to government for approval. While submitting the annual report of the department, personnel department, to Parliament, the recommendation has not been accepted by the government. This is the process, to be adopted by the Government of India, and this is the process to be adopted by the state legislature or the state government. And I think this is what is now, if I am correct, now cannot authority. And they are not doing it in a transparent way. So people doubt about it because that means you bring any people from anywhere. That's no established, time-tested system of the civil services recruitment in the IAS. And you are going to disturb that to a certain extent.
Okay, but
When
where's
you
the
are
merit,
going
Mr.
to,
Moily, in
when
that
you are going to
argument?
disturb that, you should adopt proper trans- Of course, everything will be, everything will be under the Constitution of India. That means
And Mr.
reservation and
Moily,
other things will have to be gone.
you're suggesting that the concept was introduced that what is that's what is lacking this time around?
Yeah, it should not be adochism. Choose anybody you like or any not very dangerous to destabilize or disrupt whole system with which we have grown. And I think the present government, they think that they can do anything, whatever the constitution, not not observing any of the rules. And where is the civil services authority created by this government? They have not done it. Unless you do that, don't meddle with the system. Don't try to inject your own ideology or the people who subscribe to your ideology. This is what
There is merit argument for Rahul Gandhi. How does RSS come into the picture? Don't you think this is also another set of propaganda which is being peddled by the
no,
opposition
no,
in
no,
that
no,
sense,
no.
as is
We
being
have,
alleged by the BJP?
we have doubt about it because what is happening in the country. I think, look at the training center for recruiting the IAS. The RSS have opened its own, system of civil services recruitment. So all these misgivings, all these apprehensions have to be removed. And that is how it can be transparent.
Okay.
It should be a systematized thing, and the mechanism should be transparent and also not. If
Okay,
these
you're
things
saying,
are
Mr. Moily, that the current proposal lacks transparency. Here's
yeah,
what BJP has said, and I want to quote Mr. Amit Malviya verbatim. He, of course, has spoken of the second Admin Reforms Commission, which was established in 2005, which you were also referring to, when UPA was in power, and it was you who chaired it. He says the NDA simply created a transparent method to implement the recommendations of UPA period ARC.
have they constituted the civil services authority? Are they recruiting the people in the system? Mechanism work out a system? Nothing is done. Just quoting my report for their convenience is not going to help them. That means to say that the intentions are wrong, implementation is definitely distorted.
Okay, but the counter to that is that all implementations are actually taking place through the UPSC route. That's what is being said by the BJP, and in a fair and transparent manner. How would you
Not
respond to
enough.
that?
UPS is one route. But the civil services authorities at another route. And if they come out with civil service authority, and our recommendation is substantial recommendation is don't do it, don't go adochism, and do it through the process of civil authority in the most transparent way. We have already suggested the system, methodology. And if you don't do that, I think the Rahulji's, the suspicion stands.
Okay, the allegation, Mr. Moy, to you, is BJP has come out to say in criticizing, the proposal in the manner in which Rahul Gandhi has, he's in a sense thrown you and the Congress under the bus.
No. The present system, when you don't adopt the particular systems, specified by the ARC, want to do it again, repeat the anarchism, then the fear is well sustained. Fear of Rahulji is well sustained because they are doing that. That is how they are bringing all their people of their ideology into the government and services and demoralizing the IAS and also destabilizing the reservation system. And this is not going to help you. And this is going to definitely lead to disaster. It will demoralize civil service.
Okay. Well, the BJP is of firm opinion that it was the UPA that created the concept of lateral entry, and the BJP government this time around has only ensured that it's implemented in a transparent and a free and fair manner. So this debate is nowhere to go.
Don't take away the skeleton of the recommendation. Take the skin, flesh, and everything from that recommendation, and then interpret. Then nobody will suspect you. At least it is not too late. Let them take recourse to the suggestions fully, and not take it to their own convenience.
Okay, all right. Let's see how the BJP responds to your suggestions, Mr. Moily. Many thanks for joining us here on CNN News 18 and sharing your individual perspective. Let's now shift our attention, viewers, back to the story from Kolkata that we've been tracking the last so many days, which has generated a lot of anger, a lot of angst across the country, not just in the medical fraternity. You name it, children, women, men, everybody in the country seeking greater safety for the medical facilities, for the doctors, the resident doctors, junior doctors across the country in several hospitals, both public and private. In the latest, though, the victim's father has come out to level some very serious allegations. In fact, has called out the quote-unquote duplicity of Mamata Banerjee government as well, saying that they're trying to suppress public anger while hurling some outrageous remarks at those who are completely innocent and are only seeking justice in the entire episode. CBI, remember, is conducting its investigations. In fact, we've been seeing an official and expert team of the CBI also carry out psychological tests, polygraph tests, and the court in the latest has granted permission for the same to the CBI team. So lots happening as far as investigations are concerned. But first up, let's hear it from the victim's father and mother.
नहीं हमसे बात नहीं हुआ उसके, कोई बात नहीं। वो ना उन्होंने जरूरत पड़ा कोई सिग्नेचर विग्नेचर का, उन्होंने बोला हम उनको हमारा ऑफिस में आने के लिए बोलो। एकदम हम लोग का डिपार्टमेंट का कोई नहीं और कॉलेज का कोई हमारा साथ कोऑपरेट नहीं किया। पहले से तो हम ये बोल रहा है, यही तो दिक्कत है हम लोगों का। जो डिपार्टमेंट पूरा इसलिए इन्वॉल्व है इसमें, जो क्रिमिनेशन घाट का बारे में बोलता है, श्मशान घाट के बारे में, उधर 3 बॉडी पड़ा हुआ था, लेकिन उसका पहले ही हमारा लड़की का बॉडी जला दिया गया।
দোষীদের তাড়াতাড়ি ধরে ফেলবো, কিছুই তো দেখতে পেলাম না যে এখনো পর্যন্ত কেউ ধরা পড়লো, কোনো ক্লু পেল। একজন ধরা পড়েছে, ওকে তো আমি মনেই করছি না। ও ভেতরের লোক না থাকলে বাইরের ও কি করে জানলো আমার মেয়ে ওখানে আছে? আমার পুরো ডিপার্টমেন্ট মনে হচ্ছে দায়ী এর জন্য। ভিতরের লোক বলতে আমি পুরো ডিপার্টমেন্টকেই বলছি, একটু ভালো কাজ করেনি। এমনকি এখন আমাদের সিএম যাতে প্রতিবাদটা বন্ধ করার চেষ্টা করছেন। আমার মনে হচ্ছে আজকে 144 ধারা জারি করে দিয়েছেন এখানে, যাতে মানুষ প্রতিবাদ করতে না পারে। উনি আমাদের সঙ্গে কোনো সহযোগিতা করেননি, বরং কেসটা মানে পুরো যাতে তাড়াতাড়ি করে মিটিয়ে দেওয়া যায় সেই চেষ্টাই করছিলেন।
Let me quickly go across to Arunima joining us with more details. Arunima, earlier today we also saw 2 reputed doctors, called in for questioning by the Kolkata police, and we saw the kind of support that poured in for them. A sea of supporters, doctors, lawyers as well taking to streets today to protest against the manner in which some of these summons have been issued. Tell us a little bit about the investigations that are ongoing, most specifically on part of the CBI.
Yes, so there are 2 parallel investigations. The doctors were summoned by the Kolkata police. The charge against them is of misinformation, and that investigation is separate. And you saw the public mood when those people summoned went to the Lal Bazar headquarters of police. The Central Bureau of Investigation, it seems, is multi-pronged. In a marathon conversation or marathon questioning session, it's 5 hours now, and the senior officers of CBI are still meeting the victim's family. A short while back, about an hour back, another team of 3 joined them. They had a laptop and some kind of a digital device. I'm not sure what it was, but it looked like a scanning kind of a device that was taken inside the victim's residence. Neighbors who had gone to meet the victim's family members before the CBI arrived, they were also not allowed to move out till at least 3.5 hours. Finally, post lunch, they were allowed to move out, and they told us that they were kept restricted in the hall area of their household while the CBI team continued to speak to the victim's father and mother in an inside room. And in the interim, nobody is being allowed to go inside, nobody is allowed to come outside. The sense that I get is that whatever CBI has collected by way of sequence of event, by speaking to various doctors and the college principal, they are trying to match that frame by frame with the version of the parents. First and foremost, what time did the call come? Did the call come? Okay, and more neighbors are coming out of the household. They're all distraught. Like I told you, not many have been allowed to, go inside and meet the parents as they are being questioned by CBI. But coming back to what is this questioning about, I think there is some discrepancy that CBI has found. The parents said they got a call and somebody floated the suicide theory. Now, Dr. Arunava Datta Chaudhary, who is the head of the Department of Chest Medicine, he said that the assistant superintendent who made the call was not the AS who had spoken to him. So then who was this person who made the call? On whose behest did he tell the parents that the girl had died by suicide? Why was 40 minutes wasted before the first call was made to police? Why did the renovation work continue? Why did the principal not stop the renovation work there? So there are various versions to this coming in from the principal, from the HODs and from the staff members. CBI, I think by speaking to the parents right now, is just trying to remove the anomalies and zero in on the areas they feel the management is not saying the truth.
Absolutely. Several lapses that are being questioned or rather being spoken of, not just by the family members, by several colleagues of the victim in this case as well. In fact, the parents have also been extremely vocal about the manner in which some of these lapses stand completely exposed. Also, how they were not allowed to see their daughter's body for the longest time once this incident came to the fore. Arunima, stay on with us. Here's another conversation, another version that we bring to our viewers. This is a reaction from two staff members from the crematorium in Panihati in Kolkata, where the victim's last rites were performed. Let's quickly listen into this conversation.
ये जो ट्रेनी डॉक्टर हैं जिनकी हत्या हुई थी, उनकी बॉडी यहाँ किस दिन आई थी, कितने बजे आई थी और कौन कौन लोग आए थे?
9 तारीख को आए थे, रात 12 बजे करीब। यहाँ हम लोग का जो काउंसलर है, एमएलए सर भी थे, काउंसलर भी थे, सब थे। और यहाँ बड़ी संख्या के पुलिस भी थे, गाड़ी बहुत थे, कंजेस्टेड हुआ था एरिया, इसीलिए थोड़ा जल्दी हो सकता, जितना जल्दी ये इलाका खाली हो जाए कानून व्यवस्था के लिए पुलिस बोला तो थोड़ा जल्दी हो सकते तो कर दे।
और कितनी बॉडी थी उस समय?
जो पहले थे।
तो इनका पहले हुआ अंतिम संस्कार?
हाँ।
ये किसने बोला था? ये
पुलिस बोला था कि अभी जब बॉडी आएगा तो रुकने के लिए बोलेगा। हम बोले तो ठीक है, क्या कि हम लोग लोकल लड़की भी थे, डॉक्टर भी थे, ऐसा दुर्घटना हुआ था, जब पोस्टमार्टम हुआ था, यदि डिकम्पोज होने का चांस था, इसीलिए बोला था जल्दी हो सकते थे। तो हम लोग जिस बॉडी आए थे, हम लोग उसको बोल के रखे थे कि हम लोग को बॉडी आएगा तो वो पहले लाइन में होगा। तो वो बोला था ठीक है, सब कोई मान लिया, इलाका का लड़की है, ऐसा
तो
दुर्घटना हुआ।
फैमिली थी लड़की की,
फैमिली आकर हमको कुछ नहीं बोला है जे लेट करो कि पहले करो।
अच्छा, कुछ नहीं बोला है?
नहीं।
ओके। और आपने बॉडी देखी थी, चूंकि वो तो कवर्ड थी फेस, जैसे वो एक बता रहे हैं आपके कर्मचारी?
हाँ, बॉडी तो जो पोस्टमार्टम होता है वो कवर करके ही आते हैं, सिर्फ मुंह खुला हुआ था।
तो कुछ देखा आपने, कुछ क्या मार्क्स वगैरह देखे थे?
नहीं, मुंह ऐसे ही थे, थोड़ा नाखून का निशान सुशान हो सकता है।
Going across to Arunima once again, what does this conversation tell you, Arunima, given that the parents have also come out to allege conspiracy? They've also said that the last rites of their daughter were performed in a hurried manner. What do we make of the version that has been now shared by the staffers of the crematorium where her last rites essentially took place?
See, I am not surprised by this version that everyone from the police to the local councillor was pushing the parents to quickly cremate the body. From Hathras to RG Kar, this is a common thread. Every time there is a case of rape or assault which could create a law and order problem, the police, the first thing they want to do is that they want to help the family or themselves cremate the body or conduct the last rites, because often the body then becomes the center of protest. The body in a lot of cases has been taken in the middle of the road or at some such important point, and that has become the point of galvanizing people, and as they see the body they get even more upset and angered. So law and order wise, I can tell you that's the first thing that the police does. But I do understand where the family is coming from. This rush to get the body cremated is something that has not gone down with them. The mother also said that in their rush to get the body out of the hospital, they almost damaged her car, and she felt very sad about it because that was all that remained of their daughter who they had just lost. So yes, you would call it insensitive, but I think police will tell you that in the interest of law and order, they just pushed through the cremation. The counter could be that in their rush to get cremated, did they also end up destroying evidence? That only CBI can tell us.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of pressure that the Mamata Banerjee government is also facing, and all of these are indicators of the same, that they're giving into this sort of a pressure. The BJP is also, remember Arunima saying that, the manner in which a very important football match was cancelled, citing law and order situation, how there is an attempt to suppress public anger on the ground. That's another allegation coming in, and this also in a sense adds up to the series of allegations being levelled on how law and order is in absolute chaos in West Bengal, especially in Kolkata.
Yeah, there's no doubt about the fact that the mood on the streets of Kolkata and perhaps the entire West Bengal and even large part of the country is that of absolute anger. What we saw break out outside the Salt Lake Stadium yesterday was just a reflection of that anger. But anywhere you go, if I can just ask Pradeep to just pan, this locality also, if you just see, people are waiting to hear. There's a poster on the other side of the road asking for justice for the deceased, and there are similar posters across this entire stretch. This reflects the anger, the mood amongst the people here. Every locality that you go to in Kolkata, you will find such posters, such banners. Even if people are not on the street, from their balconies, from their locked campus gates, they are constantly shouting, "We want justice." The visuals that came from Sham Bazaar yesterday, sea of people, and it was raining all day yesterday. There were waterlogged streets, but with their mobile torches on, they defied, the BNSS section 163. They defied the weather, and they were out on the streets. And till the time they feel that the investigation is on the right track, that justice is being done to the victim and the family, I think this sentiment will prevail.
Absolutely. Arunima, many thanks for joining us with all those details. We'll keep coming back to you for the latest as far as CBI investigations are concerned as well. But like I said earlier today, we saw several doctors come out in support of the two prominent doctors who had to face the questioning by Kolkata police. That's the way the protest shaped up in Kolkata earlier today. Let's hear it from both these doctors. We spoke exclusively to them. They remember, are being held responsible for allegedly spreading misinformation and also revealing the identity of the victim, as has been spoken of by the Kolkata police. But here's what they've said on part of their defense.
That is the case, Dr. Goswami, where you are being accused of A, that you have access to the autopsy report or the postmortem report. How has that happened? And the fact that you've gone on to mention that unfortunately the lady's body had the presence of 150 milligrams of semen and also a fractured pelvic bone that you speak about. All of this has been put on in the dock, and that is the exact point that has been questioned. How are you in possession of that document?
See, we went there as a representative of all the agitating doctors' organizations, and the family themselves shared the autopsy report with us to taking it to further, and they have handed over that autopsy report to us, and that is the source of the from where we received the autopsy report. Her father, the victim's father. We never disclose the identity of the victim. We only referred him either as Abhaya or Tilottama. And next point is that yes, their autopsy report has mentioned that a white, thick, viscid fluid in her endocervical canal that has been collected as specimen, and that weighs 151 gram, not ml, 151 gram. That is written in the autopsy. Police knows it very well. It will be tested in the lab. Lab report will come up, and it will be judged by the court. it is now being further investigated by the CBI, but I don't know why Kolkata police is harassing us by summoning. We'll see to it today. A huge number of doctors and other people, along with lawyers, will go with me to attend the summon, and let's see how they establish their complaints. And I have never said that there is fracture. The autopsy report mentioned that there is no fracture, right?
What went wrong? You got a summon from Kolkata police for misinformation.
Kamalika, it would be an understatement of the decade to say that what went wrong. I hope something went wrong with me, but that is not the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is not, perhaps it will be very difficult to find anything which is going right in and around you and me in this city and state right now. What transpired from 9th of August onwards was nothing less than, actually 9th of August was the date when the bomb dropped on Nagasaki anyway. But I think following 9th of August, there was nothing less than an atomic explosion on the civic life and the public morality of Kolkata. You see, in this day and age, we are cynical people. We are selfish people. We all stay happy in all our small, little spheres of creature comforts. But even those givens of our life has been shattered in matter of minutes. And the people of this city could not digest at all that one of the most barbaric acts was happening inside a teaching hospital, inside an institution. And where I think people were massively disappointed was the sort of uninspiring display by the police and many things.
You've been for so long here. You've been one of the most reputed doctors here. You have been an orator. You do debates and all. I'm like famous. Does it hurt you? And today the doctors will be standing with you. They'll march, and you're finally going to Lal Bazaar, right?
Oh yes, I am. And trying to speak to you and probably enjoy my last few minutes of freedom. I don't know about that. But without getting into that, I don't think it is, Kamalika, it is not a time to feel disappointed, to feel angry or feel emotive. I think we as a society have got a lot to look forward to. From amongst the ruins that we see around us right now will have to emerge our visions for tomorrow. And we are professionals, we are doctors. We are not the nuts and bolts in a larger political toolkit. We are not at all. And I would say that, I would still treat today's thing as a distraction. And once this distraction is over, once we gather in medical college, my deposition would still be very simple. That okay, we wait for the dust to settle, but life has to go on. We have to look after.
So yes, there is anger, there is angst, also a lot of frustration in the medical community, asking for greater safety and security of not just trainee doctors, but the entire ecosystem, how it must be more friendly for the doctors to operate in a free and a peaceful manner. Let's quickly talk about the kind of anger that's being witnessed on the ground, the several protests that have taken place, not just in Kolkata, in several parts of the national capital and beyond. Take a look at this report.
Well, if you see, there was this protest that was called by the Resident Doctors Association out here in the national capital on Friday itself. And on Friday, there were 2 rounds of meetings that happened between the government and the protesting doctors at that point. And that meeting eventually didn't bear the fruits, and hence this entire protest is being carried out today as well. I'll ask my camera person Vijay Arpishit to show you in the visuals over here. Resident doctors from most of the government hospitals out here in the national capital are sitting over here in a dharna. They are saying that the OPD service will be provided to the patients over here. Their main demand still remains that the Central Protection Act should be implemented, and the government should give them an exact timeline as to when will this act be implemented on the ground. We'll try and get in a few voices of these doctors and try to gauge a sense as to what does this protest hold and what is the future of these protests. You have been protesting here for the last many days, almost 1 week now. On Friday there was a meeting between the doctors and the government. What happened in that meeting and what is the future plan of your protest?
we requested for an ordinance. Actually, they told it will take at least, our demands are an immediate ordinance and a law, a committee at least assurance from their side, but we didn't get both. They were told they already have state laws in 26 states, but what we need is a central law, a uniform law, which is stronger and implemented in a proper way. Not a small states. This was our concern. And our main demand was ordinance, and our major demand was justice for the victim, which is our major concern.
Amidst the CBI investigations and serious allegations of conspiracy by the victim's family comes another shocking revelation by the other doctors of RG Medical Hospital, and this especially against the former principal, the then principal Dr. Sandip Ghosh, where many doctors have come out to say in as many words that he ran mafia-like operations, that he would not just fail students on purpose, he would also seek commission from them. Listen in.
Dr. Abhishek, these social media theories that are doing the rounds, you know about them. Drugs, porn, and then that exam pressure. Have you heard anything of this kind while you have been a student here?
Yes, ma'am, I do have heard about all this. Some of them are true, some of them are not. I'd like to state that the first point about the sex racket, it was a rumor back from 2001, and that is currently not true. It was investigated and did not come out to be true right now. And there's nothing such going on in the college right now, ma'am. But the point that has been told, drug racket also same. I cannot actually validate if that is going on or not. If there's something in the internal, we do not know it about.
By drug racket, they mean selling medicines spuriously.
No, ma'am. That is what I'm telling. If there is something of that going of that nature, we do not have that information. Being simple students, we do not go into so much depths about that. You can understand that. Right. But ma'am, about the third thing, about the exam pressures and the students being harassed, that is absolutely true, and that has been going on for a while, since 3 years, since the very day Sandip Ghosh was appointed as the principal of this very college. And ma'am, there has been committed a lot of crimes. You can say there are crimes only.
These are students who have been pushed to the extent that they try to take their lives, and they've now mustered the courage to come out and speak, but since there's still no clarity about what will be the end result, they don't want to show their face just as yet. But you have tried to commit suicide because you came under so much pressure. What really happened?
What happened is that on 8th of August 2021 हमारे जो कॉलेज स्टूडेंट थे ना, सब मिल के कॉलेज अगेंस्ट द प्रिंसिपल्स, देन प्रिंसिपल संदीप घोष सर, उन लोगों ने प्रोटेस्ट किया था फॉर कॉमन डिमांड्स लाइक हॉस्टल, सेपरेट कॉमन रूम्स फॉर बॉयज़ एंड गर्ल्स, एंड ए फ्रेश हाउस टॉपशिप काउंसलिंग. बट there was our demands were not fulfilled, and but we are targeted continuously for the 3 years, and we were failed in our exams. We were failed in semester exams and practical exams also. And जो हमारे साथ हुआ मेनली कि हम लोग को फेल करवा दिया गया, हम लोग को सुसाइड मेरे को करना पड़ा.
क्यों, मतलब आप इतना क्यों प्रेशर में आ गए, क्यों? एंड आई वांट टू show them here. Pradeep, just look at this. The scar mark is still very much there. His hand is still trembling as I'm asking this, and I hate to put you through this trauma, but I have to ask you कि आखिर ये लॉबी क्या ऐसा कर रहा था कि आपको अपनी जान लेने के बारे में सोचना पड़ा?
क्योंकि ये जो प्रिंसिपल और प्रिंसिपल के जो लॉबी है, ये हम लोगों को फेल कर दिया, हमको, मेरे को एग्ज़ाम में फेल कर दिया, मेरे को कॉलेज में और हॉस्टल्स में घुसने से मना कर दिया, मेरे को प्रॉपर नोटिस निकाल के इस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने पूरा मेरे कुछ दोस्तों को, ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे साथ सिर्फ हुआ है, और मेरे 5-6 दोस्तों को भी उन लोगों ने, और सीनियर को और जूनियर को भी उन्होंने फेल करवाया. हम लोगों को हॉस्टल में आइसोलेट करवा दिया. हमारे अगेंस्ट में सोशल मीडिया में फॉल्स प्रोपागेंडा फैलाया.
सोशल ऑस्ट्रेसाइजेशन भी था और एकेडमिक सेटबैक भी था.
इसीलिए हम लोगों को, मेरे को साइकेट्रिक काउंसलिंग करवानी पड़ी, ट्रीटमेंट करवानी पड़ी, क्योंकि आई हैड कमिटेड सुसाइड इन a particular hostel.
He tried to kill himself in a hostel at RG Car. That was the kind of pressure that underwent. ये one-off case है? Is this a one-off case? Because I'm asking you because even the victim doctor whose case RG Car is currently seeing she also wrote in her diary and she told her parents that she was feeling extremely pressurized. तो जो इनके साथ हुआ, क्या ये वन ऑफ है? जो उस लेडी डॉक्टर के साथ हुआ, क्या ये वन ऑफ है, या इस टाइप का प्रेशर आप सब लोग फील करते हैं?
Absolutely right, because this is actually one of the many cases, you know, and one of the many, one of the many pressurizing things we are facing in the college since last 3 years. And
so people who are part of the coterie, they get good marks, they get better duty hours, and they get better duty life, while you guys suffer.
Okay, just it's not about just based on better duty hours and good marks. They have been awarded with gold medals, and people who know nothing, and it is surprising to each and every student of the college, like how they get, you know, gold medals. Everyone knows, but everyone keeps their mouth shut just in case that next victim is not like our Didi. So we are very, you know, embarrassed to not to show our faces, because we are also currently, you know, suppressed with so many threats. So I'm very embarrassed that I'm not able to show my face.
No, but you're very brave that at least you're coming on record and sharing what has happened. My final question to you: I've asked them about the kind of pressure, but as far as this allegation is concerned, why would or group so
they just wanted that all students to support them, and they want to suppress the other people's voice. That is what the
why? Because Sandip Ghosh as a principal should continue.
Yeah, that was their main motive, because 2 years ago there were many incidences that Sandip Ghosh should resign. There were many political parties. There also was but nothing really happened.
So there are problems more than one that needs to be addressed at the earliest, as is being spoken of by several young doctors at the RJKar Medical College. But let's talk about the governor's version. The West Bengal is also law situation, but the state of affairs when it comes to the healthcare infrastructure and also the manner in which the police is functioning in the state. Listen in.
Sir, the situation of law and order in West Bengal is of worry for the entire country. We told that you could travel to Delhi. Will you apprise the Ministry of Home Affairs about the law and order situation here?
Discussing with my constitutional colleagues would remain a confidential matter now. Once it is done, I'll certainly inform the media. Make my own assessment of what is going on here, and also to see what constitutional options are there. Then only I can comment on what I will be discussing with the authorities in Delhi. See, the reflection is kind of is there in the reported statement or observation of the Honorable High Court that there is absolute failure of the machinery in the state government.
So the first big allegation that came in from the parents' side, and which is completely exposed the manner in which the parents were informed about this most unfortunate incident, is that the police had informed the parents of the victim that big question in the family's end is that the cremation was carried out in a hurried manner, and we have a confirmation of the same now, as has been put forth by the staff at the crematorium. Listen into this exclusive version.
ये जो ट्रेनी डॉक्टर हैं जिनकी हत्या हुई थी, उनकी बॉडी यहाँ इस दिन
यहाँ हम लोग का जो काउंसलर है, एमएलए सर भी थे, काउंसलर भी थे, सब थे, और यहाँ बड़ी संख्या के पुलिस भी थे, गाड़ी बहुत थे। हो जाए कानून व्यवस्था के लिए पुलिस बोला तो थोड़ा जल्दी जो हो सकते तो कर दे।
और कितनी बॉडी थी उस समय?
जो पहले थे।
तो इनका पहले हुआ अंतिम संस्कार?
हाँ।
ये किसने बोला था? ये
पुलिस बोला था कि अभी जब बॉडी आएगा तो रुकने के लिए बोलेगा। हम बोले तो ठीक है, क्या कि हम लोग लोकल लड़की भी थे, डॉक्टर भी थे, ऐसे दुर्घटना हुआ था, जब पोस्टमार्टम हुआ था, यदि डिकम्पोज होने का चांस था, इसीलिए बोला था जल्दी हो सकते थे। तो हम लोग जिस बॉडी आए थे हम लोग उसको बोल के रखे थे कि हम लोग को बॉडी आएगा तो वो पहले लाइन में होगा। तो बोला तो ठीक है, सब कोई मान लिया इलाका का लड़की है, ऐसा दुर्घटना हुआ।
फैमिली थी लड़की की,
फैमिली आकर हमको कुछ नहीं बोला है जी, पहले
बोला। और आपने बॉडी देखी थी, चूंकि वो तो कवर थी फेस, जैसे वो एक बता रहे हैं आपके कर्मचारी।
हाँ, बॉडी तो कवर आते हैं, मुंह खुला हुआ है।
कुछ देखा आपने, कुछ क्या मार्क्स वगैरह देखे थे?
नहीं, मुंह ऐसे ही थे, थोड़ा नाखून का निशान सुसन हो सकता है।
It's an allegation first leveled by the family members of the victim and a confirmation of the same coming in from the crematorium staffers who say yes, indeed the victim's body was buried in haste. We're tracking that and much more on the side. A quick break, we'll be right back.
I don't know. It's. I have hope for I have a ton of student loan debt from law school, and it's just I don't know if I'll ever pay that off. And it's nice to know that if Harris wins, that she would hopefully look out for me, and I know Trump wouldn't. So it's nice to know that to move towards society and as a professional and as a person, hopefully we'll be more secure with Harris. I think women have had enough. We've been pushed around by the patriarchy for so long. We're which I think a lot of women are mad at. I think we're mad at Project 2025. I think Kamala is just a breath of fresh air in the yuckiness of what we see from the other side. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like to me. And this is no, we're all the United States. Let's be together and help each other. And that's why I support her.
I really liked Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, and I liked that other deal, that supply chain deal that he made, and the fact that she's just connected that, the fact that she has connective tissue and the cabinet has connective tissue to that makes me want to plan. I'm sure it probably includes some similar plans to the student loan pauses that Biden has made, so I really like that too.
This campaign is about a recognition that, frankly, over the last several years, there's been this kind of perversion that has taken place, I think, which is to suggest that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, when what we know is the real and true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's what we see as strength. We know what strength looks like. That's what strength looks like. Anybody who's about beating down other people is a coward. Let's build community. Let's reinforce community. You all as volunteers, what you know, and we're going to spread the word, is how you can look at the face of a perfect stranger and see in their face a neighbor. That we see in each other our connection, our interdependence, what we see in each other, which fortifies and reinforces that the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. That's what this campaign is about. Yes, it is about winning, and we will win. And we will win. And we will win. be a leader and to be a role model. And you know, it's not easy being a role model. Welcome to the role model club, right?
Now please come over. We're gonna head back to the bus.
And I've told people, and they think I'm joking about it, it was harder to win that state football championship than it was to become governor. So it's tough work. You got to count on a lot of things. You got to do a lot of things. And in our team, we ran a 44 defense. I wouldn't have wanted to go against this guy, I can tell you that. There's no stopping that run. But the kids played hard, and they understood that it was something bigger than themselves. And I'll have to tell you, being out here with Vice President Harris, I know it'd be easy, especially now. Our politics has been pretty ugly. Our politics has seemed pretty negative. Our politics is something that I know, what I fear most is that young people turn away from it rather than turning into it. Politics isn't that much different than this. It's about something bigger than themselves. It's about setting a future goal and trying to reach it. It's about doing it with dignity and hard work. It's about doing it with humility, and when you lose, you walk across the field and you shake hands with the other team and know they played hard too.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned to CNN News 18. Let's now talk about the tensions that have been ongoing in Udaipur through the weekend. We've seen how communal tensions have flared given a stabbing incident that has sparked tensions across Udaipur and Rajasthan in the latest. Though we are learning that several houses were set on fire, vehicles damaged, stone pelting was in fact also witnessed in Udaipur given this particular incident. Remember, this happened on Friday when a class 10 student at a school in Udaipur speaking in the, and following this, we did see authorities ordering closure of government and private schools in districts till further orders. We've also seen the internet being snapped until further orders in view of the law and order situation, but the situation most certainly is critical in several parts of Udaipur, where in this stabbing episode took place in a school, in a government-run school on Friday. The collector has also appealed to the people to ignore rumours being spread regarding the incident, but like I said, after the victim passed away, this is a 10th class student, several Hindu outfits set cars on fire. They also indulged in stone pelting. So the situation on ground in Udaipur very, very critical. There's also an official order that's been issued by the divisional commissioner. Mobile internet services have been suspended for a period of 24 hours. And what we've witnessed since Friday, giving us more details. सांप्रदायिक तनाव बहुत है कपिल उदयपुर में. हमें जानकारी दीजिए कि क्या चल रहा है वहाँ और लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन की स्थिति क्या है. कपिल जो सुनते हैं,
आपको सुन पा रहा हूँ
जी. सांप्रदायिक तनाव के बारे में बताइए, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन क्या है, स्थिति क्या है वहाँ पे.
देखिए, अब बच्चे के निधन की सूचना बाहर आ चुकी है, सामने आ चुका है कि जो बच्चा घायल हुआ था वो बच्चा अब इस दुनिया में नहीं रहा और अब उसकी डेड बॉडी को मोर्चरी में शिफ्ट कर दिया है. लेकिन कुछ लोग हॉस्पिटल में मौजूद थे, बहुत ज़्यादा संख्या नहीं है, लेकिन उन लोगों का अचानक से आक्रोश जो है वो फूट पड़ा और उन्होंने कुछ नारेबाजी यहाँ पर जरूर की. बच्चे की जो माँ है उनकी डिमांड है कि उनके लिए मुआवजा, सिर्फ आरोपियों के लिए सख्त से सख्त सजा, उनके लिए मुआवजा है. लेकिन अगर हम सांप्रदायिक तनाव की अगर उदयपुर शांति बनी हुई है, शुरुआती हर और आगजनी और पथराव की स्थिति नजर आ रही थी, लेकिन उसके बाद में बाजार खुलने लगे, पुलिस और प्रशासन का विश्वास आमजन में जगने लगा कि सख्त कार्रवाई आरोपियों के खिलाफ की जा रही है। और पहली बार उदयपुर में देखने को मिला, उदयपुर में पहली बार आरोपी के घर को जमींदोज करके राजस्थान सरकार ने एक सख्त संदेश।
Okay, Kapil, many thanks for joining us with all those details. We're tracking that very closely. The situation relatively under control, but we've seen a little bit of communal tensions flare in parts of Udaipur. For the moment, quickly shifting our attention to more news coming in. This is a breaking news update. An exchange of fire took place between terrorists and security forces in Udhampur. This has claimed the life of CRPF personnel and has been confirmed by the Jammu and Kashmir police. So that's an update coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Officials say that the CRPF inspector was killed after the terrorists attacked a joint party of the Force and Special Operation Group, the SOG of Jammu and Kashmir Police in Udhampur district. So yet another terror attack, and the CRPF personnel lost his life after search and cordon operations were launched on part of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. This is unfortunate news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir after an exchange of fire took place between terrorists and security forces in Udhampur, following which this encounter broke out. A CRPF personnel killed in the encounter in Udhampur. Officials say that the CRPF inspector was killed after the terrorists attacked a joint party of the SOG of Jammu and Kashmir Police in Udhampur district. It's time for us to head into a very short break. We'll be right back with more on the other side. Keep watching.
Brought to you by
hope, love. All right, now I want to see this country progress.
And what does she mean for you? I have 14 grandchildren, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let them grow up in a country that they have less rights than I did.
I grew up in the 70s. We had no rights. We were less than. We were treated differently. And to see a woman like her, who is not only a woman of color of different nationalities, rise above all the stuff that I had to go through, it's amazing.
I don't know, I have hope for, like, I have a ton of student loan debt from law school, and it's just like, I don't know if I'll ever pay that off, and it's nice to know that, like, if Harris wins, that she would hopefully look out for me, and I know Trump wouldn't. So it's nice to know that my interest and my ability to move upwards in society and as a professional and as a person hopefully will be more secure with Harris.
I think women have had enough. we've been pushed around by the patriarchy for so long, and we're seeing it again. They took away Roe v. Wade, which I think a lot of women are mad at. I think we're mad at Project 2025. I think Kamala is just a breath of fresh air in the yuckiness of what we see from the other side so much. All the hate, the division, like who can we pick on next? You know what I mean? That's what it seems like to me. And this is like, no, we're all the United States. Let's be together and help each other. And that's why I support her.
I really liked Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, and I liked that other deal, that supply chain deal that he made, and the fact that she's just connected that, the fact that she has connective tissue and her cabinet has connective tissue to that makes me want to